Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Blood Phantom 81. So it's been a while since we've last spoken. Today I'm going to be talking about the Great Reset, and of course I put it in air quotes because the way that people talk about it in today's day and age make it sound very corny. They make it sound like there's a whole bunch of rich people and the government sitting around a campfire sacrificing children and talking about how they're going to buy up all the houses so that poor people have to rent to them forever. Now, I don't know a lot of the motivations behind what's happening, but what we do know what's happening is that, in fact, large financial institutions are starting to diversify their portfolios in high quality assets such as rental properties in the form of single family homes. Now, the reason, or I should say the main reason why I think this is happening, again, I don't know for certain, but for me, the numbers are starting to make sense for these large financial institutions because single family homes are such great assets. Now, I'll start it off with this fact. So around 2019, anywhere from 35 to 40% of rental housing in the United States is actually single family homes. And it's currently 2022, and I'm sure that number is higher by now. I don't know, I haven't checked. But top three reasons why I think these are high quality assets. Number one is the tenant quality. So for two reasons. Number one, the average rental life cycle of a single family home resident is about 3 years. And that's close to double than that is for a apartment. And so obviously the larger that the rental life cycle is, meaning that the less overhead you have in terms of cleaning a property once a tenant leaves, fixing it up once a tenant leaves, etc., all that stuff. Basically, the higher the life cycle, then the better. And number two is that you can actually charge more for rent for a single family home than you can an apartment. So you get to obviously make more money in rent while at the same time ensuring that you have higher quality tenants on average. So that's reason number one, is the tenant quality. Reason number two is actually for the fact that these properties increase in value. And so this is probably the worst kept secret in the United States right now, is that home prices are booming, actually outpacing inflation and comparable to stock market returns, honestly, in a lot of situations, if anything, maybe even slightly better in certain regions. And so, yeah, nothing much more to be said on that one. And then reason number three is because everybody needs a place to live. And that's probably one of the cheesiest ways to say it, but it's true, is that a lot of these rental properties make great assets because they can retain their value, because there's a high degree of utility around them, right? People need places to live, especially in really competitive markets. For instance, Essex Property Trust, ticker symbol ESS, has made a killing off of doing what they do, investing in cities that are booming and growing, tech hubs such as Los Angeles, Silicon Valley, Chicago, for the fact that there is low supply and high demand in certain areas, right? And so that's one style of real estate investing that they prefer, and it seems to be working out for them. They're actually a dividend aristocrat REIT. Full disclaimer, I am long, ticker symbol ESS. And speaking of low supply, high demand, what happened in about the year 2020, maybe even a little bit of 2019, but mostly 2020, is that the 6-month supply rate of houses in the United States just fell off a cliff. Now, I'm not going to spend time explaining what that rate actually means. It basically means that the supply of homes fell off a cliff as far as houses for sale in 2020. And obviously, this is going to do crazy things to the prices of homes. And while that number has improved steadily, fortunately, and the real estate market is not as crazy as it was in 2020, it is cooling off a little bit. With that being said, large financial institutions are ready to scoop up more properties. And so it's not a great thing for everyday people that are looking to get their first property. And with that being said, so as a first-time homeowner, as of last year in November, I actually want to buy another property. And if I can just let my ego get in the way a little bit, I have a lot of pride in being a homeowner, to be honest. I love my home, and there's something that feels really good about owning a place of my own. I much prefer it over renting, to be honest. I haven't had the best experiences with being a renter. But as a homeowner, it's actually pretty sweet, despite it coming with more responsibilities, right? If something breaks, you got to fix it. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking to buy another property. I should say, like, it's on my radar. I'm not actively looking for it right now. I'm waiting on a couple things. One is to have a little bit more of a cash reserve, I should say. And so I'm relying on one of my latest trading strategies to help me get there. It's a crypto related trading strategy, so that's like super exciting to me. I know I always get excited about trading strategies and then end up switching them up, but this is probably one of the most reliable ones I can think of so far. I know crypto is generally seen as a volatile asset, which it is, but using that volatility to limit my downside actually is kind of how I see it. We'll see how much I end up talking about it. But anyway, I'll wrap up this video with saying I'm looking for maybe anywhere from 80 to about like 100 grand next, so that I can do three things. One is to pay off my current property just a little bit, potentially refinance after that to make sure that it can cash flow on my next tenant. Number two is down payment on the next property, of course, that makes sense. And number three is to make my current property a little bit more rentable. So what that means is obviously like remove the carpets in some area, go with a harder floor, just fix some plumbing stuff, small stuff like that, just to make it ready for tenants, GFCI outlets and stuff like that as well. But anyway, so that's it for this video, guys. Feels good to be back on YouTube making videos and making content. I will be back at some point this year making different types of content, so stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.